All right, we're back, and we're back with Meli Chin-Loy. Okay, she's an attorney who earned her JD from Nova Southeastern University, Shepherd Rock College of Law. She's also a radio host with her own show on Reggae Global Radio, which is a part of Reggae Global Entertainment, and she's a president of that whole entity. Right. And in addition to all of that, she is a health coach. And today we're going to be taking some time to find out how she fit all of that in and go into the topic she really has a passion for, which is self-development. Meli, welcome to the Truly Julie Experience. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you.
All right.
And all of you.
Awesome to have you. All right. So you're a radio show host, president of the company, and health coaching. Let's start with the company, Reggae Global Entertainment. Tell us a little bit about the company, when it started, what services do you offer, stuff like that.
So Reggae Global Entertainment has been around for, I want to say it's been about 2 to 3 years, but we were named something else before that was around for a few years, and then Mom has just been in the industry for so long and doing things her own way.
And Mom is who?
And Mom is Joanna Marie.
Oh, okay. Hi, Mom.
Sorry. So it's been years in the making. Reggae Global is just the new baby that we have formed, and it has surely been a baby because it has had its ups and downs, but it's been so fun and enjoyable throughout the whole process.
Okay, so with Reggae Global Entertainment, a big part of that, or one part of that I should say, is Reggae Global Radio.
Yes.
Where you have your show.
Yes.
Now, what's the kind of content and programming on Reggae Global Radio?
So Reggae Global Radio is all about promoting positive vibes, good energy, and really just enjoying music, enjoying reggae music, enjoying the love and the joy that you get from everyone's story, everyone's passion, because everybody's music is personal and it's different. And you can learn so much from the different genres. We just started expanding into not only reggae, but R&B, pop. We play some reggaeton. We play, we mix it up. We play lots of different things because we know it's not all about reggae.
Right. It isn't.
I mean, it is all about reggae.
Some people would answer that question that way.
Reggae wouldn't be reggae if the ones who came before us didn't branch out and didn't explore other things. Right. You can't be so closed-minded to think that other parts of the musical world don't influence the others.
Exactly. So your show, what is that all about? What is it? The name of it? What is it all about?
So my show is called Down to the Root with Meli. It's on Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I started out with 2 hours, but I found out it wasn't enough, so I had to add 2 more, and now it's 4 hours.
Okay.
4 hours, and I dive into astrology. We track the moon together and go through the moon phases and what that means and how we can use the energy to influence our lives. I talk about plants and how you can take care of your own plants that are good for beginners.
Okay, see, I need to go back to those episodes because the plants I had inside, they all died, and I'm starting over because I don't think they like the pandemic. So I think they suffered from the pandemic.
Yes.
So I'm starting all over again to redo my house.
Girl.
All right,
all you gotta do is call me. I got you. But we also talk about how plants help your mental health and how really just finding a vibe and a routine with your plants can help you in many different areas of your life.
Okay, so that's why it's down to the root.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, astrology. Why astrology? How does astrology mix in with...
Okay, so I've always been into the zodiac signs, and, my sign is a Leo. I've always been interested in understanding why I'm certain ways or why I don't get along with certain people, and it was just a way of me to explore something else, not just... to think about that there's something else out there that influences all of us, that there's something bigger out there that has an impact than just what we do here on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And it was just something to add to the show. It's something I enjoy. It's something I really like talking to others about, whether or not they want to listen. I just when I meet someone, I'm always like, what's your sign? And, that's just me.
Okay, because I had somebody tell me once that as far as astrology is concerned, that everybody either practices or acts according to their astrological sign, whether or not they know that they're doing it.
Yep. It's kind of like the law of attraction. The law of attraction is working regardless if you believe it, regardless if you're taking any action towards it, regardless if you even know what it means. It's always working. I mean, you don't think that the world just goes on day to day because of what we do.
No.
If we weren't here, the world would still just go on day to day. And what does that?
Man.
What influences that? And it's just so interesting to learn. There's such a big galaxy out there that it's such a mystery. We don't know much about it.
Okay, because I catch your show and I always catch a plant part.
Yeah.
And recently I've caught little clips of, when you're talking about astrology, and sounds interesting. I guess I have to listen more to learn more about it, because
what I say? If there's something else that you can do to study and learn more about that can help you learn more about yourself or think about things in a different way, why wouldn't you explore it? It's either you're going to learn something or you're just going to say, no, that's not for me, like what we just talked about earlier.
And that's a perfect segue into the topic for today, people, which is self-development.
Yep.
All right. So from a conversation, I can see why you're qualified to talk about self-development. What is self-development all about?
So self-development is just that. It's about developing who you are. It's about developing your skills, your attributes, the things that you like to do. It's about, living a life that is always unfolding of something else new that you can do or something else new that you don't like to do.
And why is that important? Why should anybody take on, go on this journey of self-development?
Because, everyone is chasing success, right? Everybody wants something. They're all looking forward to something. They're all trying to bring something into their life or work towards something. So while you're doing that, if you're not putting your energy into yourself, if you're not putting the work into understanding and learning different ways about how you can grow or how you can evolve from something, you're not going to go anywhere. Success is not something that you become. It's not something that you're supposed to work for. Success is something that you attract. It's something that you attract from who you're becoming. So
okay, so I know that statement is different from what a lot of people have been taught.
Yep.
Success is not what you do, but it's what you attract.
Yes.
Because I know, we've always been taught, or a lot of us have been taught, unless we do our own research by ourselves, a lot of us have been taught that the only way you can be successful is working hard. And it's something that, if you don't work hard, the only other option is that what you're doing is just sitting back and waiting for something to come to you.
Yeah.
So when you say success is something you attract, it seems to fall in line more with the sit back and wait for it to come to you.
No, it's
Okay.
not even close to that.
Okay.
Because nothing's just going to come to you unless you get like a stroke of luck or something. You have to put action into place. You have to be visualizing, you have to be confident, you have to know what it is that you want, and you go after it, and you don't take no for an answer, and you don't stop because something didn't go the way that you wanted it to the first time.
Okay.
No, you switch it up, you reroute, you do something else, you find another way to make it happen. You don't just fall back and say, it didn't work for me, I tried one thing, never going to be successful. No, success is so personal. Success is not the car that you drive. It's not the house that you live in, the possessions that you have. Success is what it means to you to have everything for you to be happy. What are you developing? Are you growing every day to know everything that you can do? You may not do everything, but at least you know everything you can do.
Right.
What you're going to go 30 years down the road and be like, I wish I did this, or I wish I knew I could have done that. Why?
But I think that comes through self-development in that, once you continue developing yourself, you find out that, hey, this is something that I probably could have done. But then again, maybe it wasn't something for you to do back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
and you're always changing. You're always evolving. So even something that was meant for you 3 years ago, it's not something maybe that's good for you right now.
or vice versa.
Or vice
right?
versa, exactly. And it's just all about putting in the work to make sure that you're taking care of you. You're doing things to build your own life. You know, you don't live your life based on what someone else dictates for you, or you don't take orders. You are the leader. You are the person that's building your own life. No one else can be happy for your success that you've brought to yourself unless you're happy about it.
And I think a lot of people have to learn that success, you use the phrase success is personal.
Yep.
Because from what I've seen and what has even happened to me until I started doing my own thing and just going out there and just saying, okay, I want to do this, and getting the courage to do it, is that, I'm supposed to do what other people say I'm supposed to do. What does society say we're supposed to do? So that's something that people have to learn. Success is personal to you. Yeah, we live in Florida. We need a car to get around, but we don't necessarily need $100,000 car.
Right.
We may not even want $100,000 car. We may just want a
car to take you from A to B.
You want one that's sturdy and that's in good working condition. Of course.
You don't want to be worried about your safety. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
But I want to go back to something you said a little earlier, because I've been thinking about it. And you were saying everyone is so used to thinking that you're supposed to work hard. You just work hard and success comes to you.
Right.
Well, it's not about working hard at your job. Working hard at your job will make you a living, and you'll be able to get your car that you want, that's nice and is safety and provides you comfort. You'll live in a nice place. You'll make ends meet, and you'll be working every day for the living. But if you work every day for you, if you work every day for yourself, you'll build a fortune. You'll build a fortune and a living, because success is something you attract by who you become. So you want to always be working on who you're going to become. Who's the person that is living in those shoes that you're visualizing, that you're dreaming about? That house on the beach, or that Maserati, or whatever it is that looks good to you. How does that person feel? How does that person live? What does that person do every day when they wake up and before they go to sleep? What does that person do every day in order to get there? Because who you are today, who we are right now sitting here, who you all are over there watching, that's a product of what you've become, what you've done.
Right.
It's a product of the actions you've put into place, the work you've
yeah.
done. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't put myself out there and listen to my mom tell me to do the radio show. That was
didn't want to do the radio show?
That was not something I ever imagined or pictured for myself. Ever. I was so afraid and camera shy.
So why did you eventually do it?
I vowed to myself I would continue to stay out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
And make myself uncomfortable every chance I could get. And it's been amazing. It's been scary.
So self-development, a part of self-development is to get out and stay out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Forget being comfortable. When you're comfortable, you're just going to stay the same. When you're putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, it gives you a chance to grow. Gives you a chance to build a little confidence in yourself. This is my first interview. I was so nervous coming here. I was so I don't want to do it.
Guys.
I don't want to do it.
First interview, no pressure. Well, I'm glad you chose a truly Julie experience to come on and get your first interview.
How many times have I told you today that I like you and I love you?
Thank you.
But, you just have to put those fears aside, because they're only temporary. And, the moment I sat down here with you, all those fears went away, because I knew that no matter what happened, if I fall on my face here, or if I say something that, gets misinterpreted, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't
all
matter.
go away.
And I'll learn from
eventually.
it for the next time. And the next time after that, I'll learn something else, because maybe I'll mess up on something else. It's all about making mistakes and learning.
So don't be scared to make mistakes.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Okay.
It means you're trying. It means you're putting yourself out there. It means that you're not afraid to, to fall. You're not afraid. Think of it as being a little kid. little kids climbing up the tree or little kids climbing up on the jungle gym, and they're not afraid to fall. They're not afraid of what's going to happen. They're just excited about the journey.
And they fall and they cry and they get
and
up
then they
and
get
they
up
go
and
again.
They do it
and they
all
go
over
in again.
Why can't we
it's
do
it's the
that?
parents that are like, no, don't go up there again.
Exactly. We have to
yeah,
be skeptical. Adults are so skeptical. We're so scared of what can happen from
so keep
what
a
we
childlike
do.
quality.
Yes.
Always, okay, I get that.
Yes. Bring out the child in you. Be curious. Be curious. Ask questions. That's how you're going to learn.
Exactly. So now, in just doing my little research, I came up with something. I came up with what I put together: the 7 tips for self-development.
Okay.
Okay, because I saw that most of the articles they put most of the same things in. So I took the most common ones.
It's very simple.
So I'm gonna read a tip, and then I just want you to make your comment on it.
Okay.
So the first tip is build self-development through knowledge.
Exactly. So you always want to be educating yourself. You want to read books. You want to read articles. You want to listen to podcasts. I listen to audiobooks in my car on my drive to work. If I'm going anywhere, the grocery store, if I'm just around the house doing chores, I have my headphones in and I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm listening to a podcast. And I'm always trying to expand my knowledge and learn.
Okay, so knowledge
is power.
Is power. But knowledge doesn't necessarily have to come from reading a textbook, right?
No.
Knowledge, from my experience, knowledge doesn't necessarily have to be gained from my personal experience. I can listen to, watch, read what somebody else went through.
Exactly.
For knowledge.
It's not all about us or you. It's not all about the person. It is about the personal when you're developing yourself, but in order to develop yourself, you have to learn perspective. You also have to, see what other people have done. And, success leaves clues. So the people who you admire.
Success leaves clues. I like that one. I'm going to write that one down. Success leaves clues.
Yep.
Okay.
You study the people before you, the people who are in the position that you see yourself at, that you want to be at. Study what they do. Read what they read. Listen to who they listen to.
Success leaves clues. Okay. Next, visualization. Visualize your potential for personal growth.
This is very important because I've been doing a lot of study with the law of attraction. We talked about it a little earlier. And the law of attraction is basically just being able to, it's not to go into too much detail because it is a lot physical, it's scientific, but it's basically just that everything is energy and you attract what you put out there. So if you are going around feeling lousy, you're going around thinking everything's against you, that's all you're going to ever attract. If you go out there and you're confident and you have purpose and you know what it is that you want, you're attracting all of those things to you. You're bringing all of that energy towards you. So I think I'm going a little off topic. What was the tip again?
No, visualize your potential
yes.
for personal growth.
So part of the law of attraction is imagination. So it's partly being a child again.
Okay.
So, when we're little kids and we don't have all the toys or all the tools necessary to do what it is we know in our mind we want to do, like we're in a fort or we're building a castle or, whatever it is that you're doing, you imagine it that you have it, right? In your head, you're picturing this big castle or this big fort, and, that's all you got to do in your life. You imagine what it is that you want. So for me, I've been picturing this house on the beach for my whole life, okay?
All righty.
So that's what I've been picturing, and I'm working my way towards that because I know that's what I want, for my home to be. So I'm using the law of attraction by putting it out there in the universe saying that I want to wake up to having the beach as my backyard. So every morning
have you gone as deep as to say where you want that beach to be, as in
I don't really
state, country, all of that, but you'll take
Who
a
knows?
beach anywhere.
Who
Take a beach
knows?
anywhere. Okay.
I'll leave that up to the universe to choose for me.
All right.
But I wake up every morning and I picture myself waking up to that view.
Okay, so...
And wait till the day I tell you that I have that view. Just wait because it's coming.
Okay, all right. So, if somebody is in a, bad place, when I say bad place, I mean you know, let's say unemployed and or health problems or you know, just not in a good space, how do they then go from what they're living into visualizing what they want?
Think about what it is that you desire. Think about what it is that you dream, what success means to you, and picture it. Close your eyes, picture it in your head, and claim it. Already believe that it's yours. You just got to put in the work. If you can imagine it, that means it already exists.
Okay.
So all you got to do is put the work in every day for yourself to become the person that has that reality that you just imagined in your head.
So you need to keep
Working
visualizing
on,
this.
You visualize
day.
it. You don't ever set your mind off the goal, right?
Okay.
You always want to have your eye on the result that you want, and that's your purpose, or that's your why, not your purpose. That's your reason for doing all the hard work, for coming out of your comfort zone, for being uncomfortable, for making a mistake, for having to reroute.
So, okay, so let's say you have a huge dream, right? And you're visualizing it, but you think, you know, you're here and you want to get that house, right? But you're currently, let's say, just renting a 1-bedroom thing. So to some people, that may be such a huge dream or thing that they're like, oh, that's too much for me. How do you suggest that, you know, you say, okay, apart from keep visualizing it, because I know one thing is that people have said is take it in, you know, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? So break it down into smaller visions or smaller goals or something like that?
Yes. So basically, you always want to believe that you can do it, because the minute that you have a negative feeling towards getting to that place, you're already limiting yourself.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you always stay positive about it. So you have a setback because of something you've put into place, stay positive about it and pull the positive. There's always a positive from a negative, because that's just how the world is designed. Everything has a positive and negative charge. So no matter what the negative is, there's always a positive. So that would be my first tip. The next thing to do is, all right, so you set the long-term goal, which is the big goal, the big dream. Then you want to set short-term goals in order to get you there, because if you just set the long-term goal, then you're just looking at, you know, the dream and you're like, okay, how do I get there? You know?
Okay.
You got to set the little short-term goals, which is like your ladder. So, I mean, it's not like it's impossible, because how many people have dug themselves out of having nothing to having everything they want in their life?
There are a lot of examples, a lot of people out there.
It's absolutely possible, and you have the ability, every single one of us has the ability to create that for ourselves. Okay. And it's all about believing in yourself, knowing what you want, acting with purpose, and always learning and growing. And you know, maybe what it is that you want, the current path you're taking is not the one that you're supposed to. Expand, do some research, figure out how things work, figure out how, you know, things go, what to do in order to get there. Or look, like I said, look into somebody who's been there, who went there, who did it. Success leaves clues.
That's going to stick with me. So to the third one, develop self-confidence and expand your abilities.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, you said it. They're all very similar, the tips. It's all about developing yourself. It's all about building that confidence in you. And
how do you develop confidence?
Okay, so how I develop confidence is I meditate every morning in order to clear my mind of any negativity, in order to keep my head level throughout the day. So I listen to self-development books. I read self-development books. I read books about getting out of your head. I read, you know, there's so many resources out there that you can use. It's about your nutrition. It's about feeding your body the right things that it needs in order to function properly.
Building confidence is connected with nutrition?
Yes, because if you're not feeling good physically,
Okay.
and physical is not just your mind, it's your body too. You got to
Okay.
be feeding yourself, drinking water, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep.
See, a lot of people wouldn't connect the two.
Exercising, yeah, it's all about that, because when you're feeling good, you're putting that energy out there that you feel good.
Got it.
So then you're just going to come off being good, and you're going to come off confident, and that's just going to keep rolling over, and you're just, it's a process. It's all about making sure, you know, that you're okay. Your body is your vessel. That's your vessel here on earth. You know, everything else is kind of just there. You know, your body is what you got to take care of. You got to feed yourself good whole foods. Got to make sure you're getting your fruits and veggies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
Okay.
you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself and exercising, all of that.
So the developing self-confidence, you mentioned about what you feed yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that was more referencing food, physical food.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about, you know, as I told a previous guest, I think it was last week, what do you feed your brain? What did you feed yourself, you know, your mental when you're talking to yourself? So I think that building confidence has to do with what you tell yourself. You tell yourself you're confident. You
Yes.
tell yourself you can do something.
Exactly. You
stuff like
have to always tell yourself that you can do it. That's just what I'm saying. You don't do nothing negative. You always want to be positive with yourself. Like, I have a bad tendency of putting so much pressure on myself that I have to do something, or I have to be in control of everything. And when I let go of that control, I was able to build a confidence, because I realized that, you know, things go on even if I'm not trying to control it, or even if I don't have control over something. Like, it'll be okay. The time will pass, and, you know, it'll get solved, or somebody else will deal with it. Maybe that's not the right thing to say, but you know, like, you don't have to have control over everything, because the only thing you truly have control over is you, the way you react to something, and the way you talk to yourself.
So you know, it's funny you rephrase that, because my next question to you was going to be, do you think a person has control over what happens to them? How much control do you think a person has over what happens to them? Is it more a matter of you controlling what happens to you, or are you reacting to what happens to you?
Okay, so everything is you reacting to something, because, you know, everything that's happening is not. Okay, so, yes, all you have control over is how you react to something.
Okay.
So if you are reacting to something aggressively, or if you're reacting to something negatively, you're putting that energy out there, instead of, if you were to just sit back for a second, think about it, and then say, you know, you come to a rational conclusion,
Right.
you know, not an emotional conclusion. You want to think about both sides before you say anything, and really just react differently, because that's really all you have control of over, because you're never gonna be in control of how somebody else reacts to something you say, and you have it in your mind that you think about every possible outcome that could occur, right?
Right.
No matter what, one of those things is going to occur no matter what you do, and you don't have control over which one occurs, really,
Right.
because the other person has control over that.
So it's how you.
So it's how you approach it, and it's how you react to
it.
what
Okay.
they say or what comes at you. And if you always react to that positively, that's what you're going to get back, because
What you put out there is what you get back.
Exactly.
Okay. So the universe is like a mirror.
Yep,
What you
it
put out is okay.
Yeah, and the universe doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So, like, the law of attraction doesn't know that difference.
It just bounces back
It
what
just
you put out there.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that's today. Fourth tip. I think we went into this a little bit.
Probably.
Grow your productivity by making a plan.
Yes.
How important is planning?
Okay, so planning is very important, because you have to know what you're striving for. You have to know how you're going to get there. You have to know what it is that you want. So one way to plan is to put out a vision board, is to write down goals. I always like to recommend writing down like a bucket list.
Okay.
You know, write down 40 things that you want to do in your lifetime. That may sound like it's a lot, but it's not, because I'm sure you can fill it up fast.
Right.
And then you start to decipher those into little categories. So you have health, you have personal, you have education, career, whatever the little categories are. And then you'll take those and you expand on them and you make them SMART goals. This is what I talk about this on my show as well. And I won't go into this long. I'll just tell you the little specifics. It's specific, measurable, actual, realistic, and time. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you make them specific. You make it something that you can actually measure, something that you can actually, get to. And then actual. Mm-hmm. Something actual, attainable, something that you like tangible,
right?
I guess. And then realistic, the short-term goals, you want to make sure that it's something realistic. You can get done in 30 days, or you can get done in 2 months. You're not going to say like, it could be realistic that you could be a millionaire within 2 months, but realistically, with where you're at, what you're doing, is that attainable in that short measure of time? Which is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one is improve your focus and make big strides. And I guess that can be related to the SMART goals that you're saying with the focus. Mm-hmm. Because at least, in my opinion, you're figuring out what you want, and then you're making a plan for so you're staying focused on. Okay.
I'll give you another quote. Energy flows where focus goes.
Energy flows. You're full of quotes.
Energy goes where focus, or energy flows where focus goes.
Okay.
So what you focus on is where your energy is going to go. So if you're focusing on being negative, if you're focusing on the fact that you can't do something, or focusing on that, one mistake you made, then that's where your energy is going to go. But if you focus on what you learned from that mistake, or you focused on what you can do next, that's where your energy is going to go. You focus on your confidence, you focus on building yourself, you're just going to keep building yourself.
Okay. Next, number 6, create routines to reduce stress and expand growth.
Yes. You always want to make time for yourself. You always, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, take the time every day to do something that you love, to do something for you that helps you grow. So I'll give you an example. My thing is, I wake up every morning a little bit earlier, and I go get my coffee, and I go sit outside in my garden, and I meditate for 20 minutes. It started first with like 10 minutes, but now I've gone a little bit more as I've become more used to it and comfortable with that whole process. And then I journal. So that's something I do for myself every day, and it takes 20, 30 minutes out of my morning. I had to wake up a little extra earlier, but it makes me feel good throughout the entire day because I started my day with something that was for me.
Okay.
And then it helps me decide throughout the day, other things for myself, as opposed to focusing on what it is that everybody else wants.
Okay. All right. Now, some people would say that 10 minutes, I can't even find 10 minutes for myself.
You can find 10 minutes for yourself if you really, really want to. I don't like that excuse.
Okay. It's an excuse people use, though.
Absolutely, but it's because you're not choosing yourself. It's because you're not choosing your growth. You're not choosing, what potential you have. Everybody has the same opportunities. Everybody does. You just have to put yourself out there. You just have to believe in yourself and build that confidence for yourself to go out there and grab that opportunity. And if you are not leaving yourself open to it, if you're not taking care of your body well enough in order to be aware of what's happening, be awoken to what's happening, then you're going to miss it.
So the creating routine is one element of that is finding time to do what it is you really like to do.
Yeah, because that's how you'll get inspired.
Get inspired. So routine could be also, you wake up, as you say, you do your meditation, you exercise or whatever, kind of planning your day, and then not like being inflexible about it.
Right.
But at least you have certain routines that you know.
Exactly.
That you do. Okay.
And you want to stick to what you're doing. So you don't want to do it for like 3-4 days and then you're like falling off and you don't do it. It's about discipline. You want to have discipline instead of regret, because those are the two pains in life that we have: discipline and regret. Discipline is a pain that we have to go through in order to get where we want to get. You got to stay consistent. You have to have discipline in order to not eat the bad stuff. You have to have discipline in order to not be negative. You have to have discipline in order to wake up every morning before the sun comes up in order to do something for yourself.
Right.
Because you know that it makes you feel good throughout the whole day.
Okay.
You got to have that discipline, because then you're just going to be regretting, what could have been.
So this takes us to tip number 7: increase energy by challenging your body and mind.
Yep. So you always want to challenge yourself, make yourself uncomfortable, put yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's how you're going to learn what you can do. That's how you're going to, be aware of the different abilities that you have or don't have. If you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not trying to do something new instead of doing something you're always doing, you're not going to grow. You're just going to stay the same.
Okay, and that doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 12,
whether
22,
you're 2,
72,
whether you're exactly. Always challenge yourself, because there's always room to grow. You're literally always growing every minute.
Okay. So, as a health coach, what is it that you do for, I guess, your clients? What is it that you do for your clients?
So as a health coach, I coach women, really mostly women, through our online program. It's a holistic health program. And we focus in areas of goal setting. We focus on nutrition, exercise. We even track the moon in our program.
Is that where you got interested in that
honestly,
for your show?
It's one of the reasons why I chose. Yes,
okay.
It's one of the reasons why I chose the program, because I was already kind of doing that in my life already. Okay. I've been almost tracking the moon for a year now, full year. And I can confidently say that I'm pretty in tune with her, because even if I'm not really paying attention to it in that moment, I'll take a step back and be like, no wonder I've been going through this, or no wonder I feel so emotional, because I'm shedding all of those things that no longer serve me. So, when you get to certain points of the moon cycle, you start shedding negativity or things that don't serve you anymore. And every time it's at that point, I'm like, why am I so emotional? It's because I'm getting rid of all that stuff. And you can't be afraid of your emotions. You can't be afraid of them, because they're there in order for you to process, in order for them to come up, and then you let it go, so that you're no longer holding on to those things from the past. You're making room, clearing space for new energy to come in.
Okay, so going back to, as a health coach, is it that you meet with clients on how often?
Yep,
how often
so
basis?
I like to meet with my clients weekly. We do a Zoom call. And it's basically just to track their progress, see if there's something else they want to work on to add to their program, because really the program is designed for each individual. There's so many different areas that you can focus on, balancing your hormones, or creating a healthy routine with your diet, or finding different ways to move your body because you don't like the weight training, or diving into spirituality and figuring out meditation. We have gratitude challenges. And, the weekly meetings are to kind of just set your pace, how you want to go through everything, what you're feeling. Maybe this wasn't working for you, so we change it up. Or I like to recommend to my clients to take a walk in the mornings to help to start practicing being mindful as the first thing you do in the day. So you go for a walk without your phone, without any electronics, and you're just observing everything in nature. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's just to start your day with a little bit of perspective, a little bit of being in the moment.
So that's what you call it, mindfulness?
Yeah.
Being mindful. Okay.
Being mindful.
So is that you just, as you say, no cell phone, you just...
Yeah, you're living in the moment. You're enjoying what's right in front of you, We live life so much on the go. We're just go, go, go. Everything is so fast-paced, and sometimes you don't even think to scratch your behind. You just, and it's nice to just slow down, especially first thing in the morning, because your brain's not really woken up yet. And
some
you
people
know,
need that coffee. Some people need
that's
that.
fine if that's what you need,
Right.
but take the time, 2 minutes. Start with 2 minutes and see how you feel. It's just taking that moment to just bring yourself to your center and just realize that it's going to be okay. No matter what's going on, no matter what you're feeling, it's going to be okay, because the time's going to pass, because it always does.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to tell our audience that I haven't asked you, that we haven't gotten into?
I just want to say, just to always believe in yourself, and just always know that you're your biggest cheerleader, or you can be your, worst enemy. And don't live your life being your worst enemy, because there's nobody else that's going to be able to drag you out but yourself. So just keep believing in yourself. You're so worthy, and you're so lovely, and I love you, and I'm always sending my love and my positive energy to anybody that needs a little uplifting.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, well, of course.
Yes. Oh.
So
I wouldn't let you leave here without that.
I'm telling artists to make sure you bring up your social medias, and I'm here forgetting. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at As Told by Meli. Mm-hmm. And if you want to email me, it's astoldbymeli@gmail.com. And that's it.
So they can use As Told by Meli to get in touch with you for your health coaching and all of that.
Yes,
So
that's
just their general email.
Yep,
so
As Told by Meli.
As Told by Meli, guys, if you need her.
That's it. And I'm here for you. Whatever it is that you need, I want to help you. I want to help you grow and believe in yourself, that you can build the life you've always dreamed about.
All right. Well, Meli, thank you for being a part of the Truly Julie experience.
I
appreciate having you on the show. I'd love to have you back.
Yes.
Anytime you're ready.
Of course.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode. That's all the time that we have left. I look forward to seeing you again next week at the same time, 1 p.m. For the Truly Julie experience. Stick with us and stay with us for our next program that's coming up, which is Caribbean Blend with Lisa L. Until next week, enjoy the rest of your day and have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.
Tax season is here again. Do you need superior service that offers more than just tax filing? Well, look no further. Come to the Barrett Group. Your filing experts await you as they give you the very best in tax preparation. They're authorized IRS e-filers, electronic filing, direct deposits to your bank, rapid refund in less than 24 hours, audit shield, and so much more. It's the Barrett Group. No upfront fees. What a deal! You just can't afford to not file with the Barrett Group. Think big, and we're now located for your convenience at 4977 North State Road 7, Tamarack, Florida 33319. Call us at 954-306-8600.